Hey guys, welcome back. This is the last of our video on this rock portrait. For the sake of time again, I just painted in her shirt black, and we're just going to continue here and get as much as we can done. So I've put down a little bit of blue on my paint palette here. I'm mixing that with white just to lighten it up a little bit. And we're just going to put that in her eyes. You'll notice I have paint all over my hands and I did not wash any of it off because it's going to end up there again. So I'm just choosing certain spots which are going to be a little darker and lighter on the eyes where there's a little bit of shadow. And I'm going to stick in the little black pupils. I'm just going to go around. The edges there. So that gives us her eyes. Now, while we're still on the eyes here, I am just going to put in some eyelashes. Nothing crazy. Here we go. I'm just going in with my parchment color here, which is just like slight off-white. And I'm just going to put in a little bit of a water line in her eye. Which again, I'm following what I'm seeing. So when I see something like this, I want to put it in. And along that water line, I will put my bottom eyelashes in. So I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of black on my brush. And those bottom lashes are very subtle. This person has fine lashes, so I don't want to give them a feature that they don't have, or that it's not overly prominent, or it won't look like them anymore. So I don't know if you guys can see what I did there, but it is ever so slight. Barely noticeable. Barely noticeable, but very noticeable. So I'm just going back in the mouth, doing a little bit of highlighting. And that part looks good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take a whole new clean brush and I'm going to do highlights on the face. So this is where we can see reflection. So I'm using my dry brush again to dab as I put the paint down. And these are just spots that are indicating where light is hitting the face. And it's very important to put these in because it makes a world of a difference, especially when you're trying to show somebody smiling. The light that hits their face in different places is kind of what allows us to see a smile coming through. So, you know, when I was a kid, I used to just draw a big happy face and think that that looked like, you know, that's what made someone smile. But I realized as I got older and figured out different things about painting and drawing that it is these highlights that are absolutely paramount on someone's face, making them look a certain way or capturing an expression. So I'll just blend that out. And I'm really liking it so far. And by liking it, I mean it looks like the person that I'm trying to capture here. It's always a good thing. So the last thing I do with highlights is I go in with white. So the spots that I highlighted, it's almost like you're going lighter and lighter and lighter. So I'm just going to highlight what I already highlighted with the subtlest bit of white. So right along the nose, buff that out. You never want to put too much white because white is like, you use it sparingly. Like you really got to pick and choose what those highlighted spots are. Because boy do they stand out, as you can see. And I'll probably calm those down a little bit because some of them are just a little. Not trying to create any milk mustaches or anything like that. We just want to really show that this person has light shining on their face. They look bright and shiny and happy. And I will just go back in and just sort of like calm that white down a bit if I overdid it, so it doesn't look too crazy. Okay, so let's move on to the hair, final part. What I'm going to do, or what I'm going to try here is, this girl has blonde hair, so I'm going to use this bristly brush. This is kind of like my lazy way of doing hair. I'm going to mix yellow and white. And, you know, I really do think this is the lazy way because you could actually go in with a fine brush and really, like, you know, go hair by hair, which I might do after this video, but just I'm going to try it out and see what this does. So I'm finding that's a little too yellow, so I'm just adding a little more and more white into my mix here. I'll just quickly show you and then get it out of the way. So here, it's just lightening up that yellow as much as I can. And I'm even mixing a little bit of my parchment color into it because what I want is a blondish color. I don't want yellow. This isn't an Archie comic with, you know, Betty. She has the yellow hair. This is a person I don't think would like their hair to look yellow, so. I'm just going to try my best to get the undertone down, and then I'm going to sort of define things. So So it's kind of sitting on her shoulders as far as I can see, her hair. And then she has her hair sort of swooping up from a certain point, and there's highlights of blonde and brown in her hair. And again, this is a very lazy way of putting down my first layer, but you know, sometimes have my little shortcuts to certain things. So at this point, I'm going to ditch this brush now, and I'm going to work on trying to define that hair. So I'm going to go back in with my brown. Actually, no, you know what? I lied. I'm not going to go in with brown. I'm going to continue using the parchment color that I had initially had on its own, and I'm also going to use this kind of yellowy blondie color that I created, and I'm just going to work that in. And you know, with this rock, I was just ranting earlier about how wonderful it is that it's kind of rough, but for doing something like this, it's not ideal. So this is going to take me a little bit of patience to just try and get this in. Get the paint to glide the way I'd like it to, 'cause it's not. Squeezing out a little more paint for myself. And we'll keep on working here. This part is what I would say is just all patience, really taking your time. And you can see that rock, the ridges don't allow us to get like that clean line that we want, which is, it's okay. It's just gonna mean that I'm gonna have to keep going back in and correcting it. But I'm just generally showing you guys what we're doing here, and you know, like I normally do, I can post a picture of what the final painting looks like after I've really cleaned things up. So I've added a little water to my paint, and that's helping me get some of that glide that I want. So yeah, this really looks like the person who I hoped it would look like, and I'm happy about that. If you guys are doing any portraits at home, I hope you've had success. So as you can see, I'm really working in the hair there. It's gonna take a little while for me to get through the whole hair, so it might not be done in this video, but you guys get the idea. I want to show you the most important things for this portrait, for you to really get the essence of what's happening while we're creating this portrait. So, again, I'm gonna give the hair a little break. If we don't finish that in the video, it's fine, because I will finish it up and I'll show you what the final thing looks like. But I want to go back to our face and put in our highlights, which are really important. So there's a couple of them here with her eyes. And you can see there, really kind of just put some life into her eye. Brighten things up a little bit, so. And we will also put that into her lips. Because, you know, so there. It's looking quite nice. I'll work a little bit more on the hair, and then you know what? I will end this video and show you guys what the final painting looks like. We've gotten through most of it, so as we work through the hair, we're just gonna keep putting in our strands of hair, and I'm gonna be working color by color. So I'm just starting out with this parchment sort of color to really get that, you know, blonde type of thing going, and then I'm gonna be putting in different different shades of brown, so we can see all the different tones in her hair. You know, when I paint people with just black hair, it's super easy because just get that black hair color and then put some highlights in their hair, the light hitting it, and you're done. But it's always fun to do something a little different. You know, the funny thing is, I started painting on rocks because I was painting with somebody one day, and there was only one canvas, and I figured, okay, well, if I'm gonna paint with you and I don't have a canvas, I just picked up a rock that happened to be there, and I was like, I'll paint on this. And you know, it seemed like this sort of haha thing that I could just do. But yeah, it ended up turning into a thing after that. I just absolutely loved it. And I went from painting, you know, something like a little tree to eventually doing these faces. Just kept challenging myself to do something different. And it's quite incredible how far it all came in a year. So I would encourage anybody at home who has a passion for certain things, artistically, just keep practicing, because it's really surprising how much better you get at stuff. Or what you end up being able to do that you might have thought you would have never been able to do at some point. So her hair just falls down over her shoulder here. And I just got to keep cleaning off that brush as I go along, or else it'll just keep creating these really big, thick lines, which I don't want. So at the ends of the hair, I'm just making sure I really taper them off. And the way I do that is just by being very, very, very light with my hand. Especially at the ends of the hair, so I can get those points happening. And you know, now that I've done the hair, I will end the video here. I will post a picture, and then you guys will be able to see what this looks like in the end. But it's already come such a long way, and you can see the likeness of the person, or I can anyway, because I know who she is. But I hope you guys enjoy, and that, you know, if you guys ever end up doing this, that you like it as much as I do, because I just think it's so cool and it's so fun, and I absolutely love giving these to people as a gift. So see you next time, and please feel free to share what you guys have created and post it on our page. So see you guys later. Bye bye.